Welcome to Alien Eve. New sci-fi stories arrive every 4 hours. If you want these journeys to continue, your support means everything. For long listening sessions, check out the playlist and enjoy the universe.
He woke to a ceiling he didn't recognize, smooth, seamless, and glowing with a soft violet pulse that moved like a slow heartbeat. Lieutenant Aaron Hale tried to sit up, but something gentle pressed him back down. Not restraints. More like a cushion of air that refused to let him overexert himself. "Please remain still," a calm voice said. "Your chest is still stabilizing." Aaron turned his head and forgot how to breathe. The woman standing beside the bed was alien, but striking in a way that made his mind freeze. Tall, sharp-featured. Her skin shifted between obsidian and faint gold. Her eyes glowed with a molten copper pattern. Faint bioluminescent lines traced along her cheekbones. Her long, swept-back ears were adorned with metallic bands that hummed softly. She was dangerously beautiful. "What happened?" Aaron asked. "And where am I?" "You were recovered from the debris field of the Callisto Dawn," she said. "Your ship suffered catastrophic failure after a focused energy strike." "That wasn't a random hit," Aaron muttered. "It felt intentional." She glanced at him. "So it seems." He blinked. "You speak standard very well." "I learned the language while you were unconscious," she replied. "Your neural implant broadcasts linguistic patterns. They are easy to read." "You hacked my implant." "I interfaced with it," she corrected. "Hacking implies damage. I did not damage anything." Aaron swallowed. "Who are you?" "My name is Vela Kryn," she said. "Combat medic of the Vesari Ascendancy." She studied him for a moment, as if evaluating his usefulness. Aaron shifted uncomfortably. "You saved me, didn't you?" "Yes." A brief pause, and apparently that was a mistake. Aaron frowned. "Sorry, what?" "You invoked the oath of reclamation." "I invoked what?" "When your hand touched mine during the rescue, your biosignature registered a plea for preservation. By Vesari law, any medic who answers such a plea becomes bound to the life they save." Aaron blinked slowly. "So I owe you something." "No," she said firmly. "I owe you. Your survival is now my responsibility. If you die, I am disgraced. If you make foolish choices, I face the consequences." Aaron stared. "Okay, wow. That's a lot of pressure." "It is inconvenient," Vela agreed. A rumble shook the medical bay. Lights flickered. The ground vibrated under their feet. "That is not good," she said. "Are we under attack?" Aaron asked. "Not targeted. But both fleets are exchanging fire. We have dropped into a contested system. This ship is neutral, but stray shots are still deadly." Another tremor hit. Vela's expression sharpened. "We must move. Can you stand?" Aaron pushed himself upright. His legs wobbled and he nearly collapsed. Vela caught him instantly, one hand gripping his arm. A warm vibration ran through her touch. "What was that?" he asked. "Biostabilization. It keeps you upright." "I am upright," Aaron muttered. "Mostly." "Acceptable." They exited into a curved corridor that pulsed with soft, golden light. Vesari crew members moved quickly, their uniforms shifting colors with each step. Many glanced at Vela, then at him with barely hidden tension. "Are they staring at me?" Aaron whispered. "They are staring at us," Vela said. "The oath bond is rare and politically sensitive." "How sensitive?" "Enough that my superiors will question why I saved a human soldier." They reached an observation bay. The wall turned transparent, revealing a massive battle unfolding in space. Vesari ships shaped like living blades. Human ships shaped like metal fortresses. Energy blasts arced between them in bright streaks, and the medical frigate was caught in the middle. "We're really in the crossfire," Aaron said quietly. "Yes." He pointed toward a distant Vesari ship turning sharply toward them. "That one, it's moving strangely." Vela stiffened. "That vessel should not be here." It pivoted, it fired. The medical frigate lurched violently. Alarms echoed down the corridor. Vela slapped her hand against the wall. The hull shimmered with a shield pulse just as the blast hit. "That was intentional," she said. "A Vesari ship just targeted us." "Why would your own people?" "They are not my people," she snapped, then corrected herself. "Not all of them." The lights turned red. An automated voice spoke calmly through the chaos. "Structural breach detected, decks 4 through 6. Triage teams deploy." Vela turned to him. Her expression was ice cold and focused. "Lieutenant Hale." The second shockwave hit the ship with a heavy rumble. The floor vibrated under Aaron's feet. Lights flickered along the hallway walls in short pulses. Somewhere in the distance, metal groaned like the ship was alive and in pain. Vela reacted instantly. She moved with sharp precision. Her hand pressed against a glowing panel on the wall. The surface brightened. The vibration in the floor weakened. "We are stabilizing," she said, but only for a moment. Aaron steadied himself. "So we really are being shot at." "Yes," she said. "We are caught between two fleets. They are not aiming at us, but stray fire is still deadly." Another tremor passed through the corridor. Aaron stumbled. Vela caught him again. Her hand was warm and a soft pulse of energy traveled through his arm. "What was that?" he asked. "Biostabilization," she said. "It keeps your body steady. You are still weak." "I'm not weak," Aaron said. "You died," Vela replied calmly. He had no argument for that. They continued walking through the curved corridor. Vesari crew members rushed past them. Many looked at Aaron with curiosity. Some looked confused. Others looked tense. "They keep staring," Aaron whispered. "They are watching the oath bond," Vela said. "It is rare. It is also political." "Political in a good way?" Aaron asked. "No," she said. They entered a large observation room. The outer wall turned transparent. The view was overwhelming. The battlefield stretched across the void. Human ships and Vesari ships exchanged bright streams of energy. The flashes lit up the darkness like a violent storm. And the medical ship was floating in the middle. Aaron swallowed. "This is a bad place to be." "Yes," Vela said. He pointed to a Vesari ship approaching them. It moved in a tight, direct path. "That one looks wrong," he said. "It's coming straight at us." Vela stared at it. Her expression tightened. "That ship does not belong here. It is from the Varkes Prime Division." "Is that good or bad?" Aaron asked. "It is bad," she said. The approaching ship rotated into position. Its weapons glowed. It fired. The blast hit the medical frigate's shields. The entire room shook. Aaron almost fell, but Vela pulled him back to balance. "That was a deliberate shot," she said. "They targeted us directly." Aaron stared at her. "Your own people fired at you." "No," Vela said. "Not my people, not anymore." The chamber lights shifted to red. A calm voice echoed through the hallway. "Hull breach detected, decks 4 through 6. Vela turned to Aaron. Her focus sharpened like a blade. "Lieutenant Hale," she said, "someone is trying to erase you." Aaron blinked. "Erase me? Why me?" "The strike on your ship was precise," Vela said. "The timing of this attack is also precise. Both happened soon after you were rescued." "That doesn't make sense," Aaron said. "I'm not important." Vela paused. When she spoke, her voice was low and steady. "When you were dying, your neural implant sent out patterns I could not identify," she said. "Patterns that do not match human design. Someone else must have known about them." Aaron stared at her. "So I'm what, a target?" "Yes," she said, "a very specific one." Another blast hit the ship. The lights flickered again. Vesari medics ran past them at full speed. Vela stood firm, her eyes glowing brighter as her uniform shifted to a deep red combat color. The next blast hit close enough to make the hallway lights flicker. A deep metallic groan traveled through the ship's spine, as if the entire vessel was bracing against a blow meant to crush it. Aaron grabbed the nearest support rail. Vela didn't even sway. "Impact on the port lattice," she said, scanning a floating display that pulsed with sharp amber lines. "Shields holding but weakened." Aaron looked toward the distant bulkheads, where Vesari medics rushed past. "Why isn't your command responding? Aren't they supposed to protect a neutral ship?" "They should," Vela said, "but someone has already decided they do not care. So we're on our own." "In this corridor, yes," she said without hesitation. "In this moment, absolutely." She turned suddenly and pressed her hand to a wall panel. The entire hallway shifted color, soft gold to deep green. The floor under Aaron's feet vibrated. "What did you do?" he asked. "I activated internal rerouting," she said. "This section of the ship will pull power to reinforce structural supports. It buys us time." "Time for what?" "Time before something reaches us." Before Aaron could ask what she meant, a voice crackled through the intercom. Harsh, distorted, not the neutral tone he had heard before. "Unidentified human aboard, isolate target, secure or terminate." Aaron froze. "They're talking about me." "Yes," Vela said, "and they are close." Footsteps echoed from the far end of the hallway, heavy, metallic, inhumanly synchronized. Aaron felt his pulse spike. "What are those?" he whispered. "Varkes Prime shock units," Vela answered. "Elite enforcers, they will not negotiate." "They're coming here." Vela's eyes glowed in the dim hallway. "They tracked your biosignal." Aaron laughed nervously. "Fantastic." Didn't even know I had a biosignal worth tracking. You do, Vela said, and someone wants it removed. The footsteps grew louder, accompanied by a strange mechanical hum, like a swarm of hornets inside a metal cage. Aaron backed up. We should hide. There is no hiding, Vela said calmly. The shock units will scan every corridor. Then we run. We would not outrun them. So what do we do? Vela stepped in front of him, her posture shifting with a clean, dangerous precision. Her bioluminescent lines brightened. The metallic bands on her ears resonated as if charging. We fight, she said. Aaron stared at her. Vela, no offense, but this is a med ship. You're a combat medic, not a warrior. She raised one eyebrow. Vesari combat medics are warriors first, healers second. The footsteps became shapes, 3 tall figures emerging from the shadows. Their armor was black and segmented, glowing with cold blue veins. Their helmets had no visors, only smooth surfaces that reflected the hallway's dim light. They carried long, curved staffs that hummed with shifting energy. One pointed its weapon at Aaron. Human, surrender for extraction. Vela stepped forward. He is under the protection of the Vesari ascendancy. The lead shock unit's voice was emotionless. Your oath has been nullified by command authority. Vela's tone stayed cold and sharp. Command authority does not override a reclamation bond. Correction, the shock unit said. Command authority does now. The staff pointed at her. Aaron's heart hammered. Vela, stay behind me, Lieutenant, she said softly. The shock unit stepped forward to seize Aaron. Vela moved. It wasn't fast. It was faster than fast. Her body blurred, the lines on her skin igniting into bright fire as she crossed the distance in an instant. Her hand struck the shock unit's staff, redirecting it. The energy blade flared against the wall, cutting a molten scar through the metal. The second shock unit lunged. Vela spun, using the first unit's weapon as leverage, and drove her elbow into the second unit's chest plate. The impact sent a shockwave through the corridor. Aaron gaped. You fight like gravity doesn't apply to you. In emergencies, Vela said, blocking another strike, it does not. The third unit charged Aaron directly. Aaron panicked. He didn't think. He didn't plan. He just reacted. His hand shot out, pure instinct, and touched the wall. A pulse ran through his fingers. The wall lit up. The shock unit stopped dead in its tracks as if an invisible force had slammed into it. It flew backward, crashing into the opposite wall so hard the hull bent inward. Aaron stared at his own hand. Vela froze too. He whispered, "What did I just do?" Vela didn't take her eyes off him. That was not human. Before Aaron could respond, the first shock unit rose again, damaged but operational. Its weapon charged, pulsing with a deadly blue glow. Vela stepped between Aaron and the weapon. But the shock unit didn't strike her. It aimed at him again. Reacquire target, it said. Human Hale is unstable. Human Hale must be. It never finished the sentence. A surge of energy burst from Aaron without warning, like static, like heat, like raw instinct. The air cracked. The lights dimmed and then flared. The shock unit's armor sparked violently. The unit collapsed. Silence fell across the hallway. Aaron stood there, shaking. I didn't mean to do that. Vela approached him slowly, cautiously, as if he were holding something explosive. Lieutenant Hale, she said softly, whatever you just did, it was not accidental. He felt dizzy. What's happening to me? Vela studied him, eyes glowing, expression unreadable. The emergency corridors of the Vesari medical frigate were a maze of shifting light and echoing alarms. Organic panels along the walls brightened and dimmed like a giant pulse, guiding crew members toward damaged sections of the ship. Aaron followed Vela as closely as he could without stepping on her heels. Every few seconds, another distant impact rattled the hull. We need to reach the lower triage bay, Vela said. If the next shockwave hits the medical deck directly, we must be ready for casualties. Aaron frowned. So we're going toward the danger. You are under my protection, she said without turning. Your location must remain under my control. You say that like I'm a cargo crate. She finally glanced back. Cargo does not cause interfleet political incidents. Comforting, Aaron muttered. They entered a wide chamber humming with layered voices. Vesari medics and technicians rushed between glowing consoles and hovering platforms. A wounded Vesari soldier was carried past them, silver-flecked blood shimmering across his armor. Aaron stopped. He's one of yours. He was hit by the same people who attacked us. No, Vela said. Those attackers are Vesari in appearance only. Their allegiance is different. That is not reassuring. It was not meant to be. Before Aaron could respond, a new shockwave hit the ship. Hard, the lights flickered. A ceiling panel cracked, sending a rain of translucent shards to the floor. Vela grabbed Aaron's arm and pulled him under a support beam until the shaking eased. Several Vesari crew members turned toward Vela immediately. One spoke sharply in their native tongue, low, melodic, but edged like a blade. Vela's jaw tightened. She answered in the same language, voice cold as ice. The medic who had spoken first stepped back, eyes widening. Aaron leaned closer. Did he just insult me? He suggested I sever the oath bond to avoid disgrace, Vela said. And what did you say? That he may sever his own tongue before suggesting it again. Aaron blinked. I'm starting to like you. That concerns me, Vela replied. Before he could ask why, a new holographic display flared to life in the center of the chamber. It showed the Vesari warship that had attacked them, the Varkes Prime, but now the image zoomed in, focusing on the ship's interior architecture. A Vesari officer appeared in the projection, tall, severe. His uniform glowed with crimson authority lines. Vela stiffened. Commander Thurin. You know him? Aaron asked. Yes, she said tightly, and he should not be contacting us directly. The hologram solidified. Thurin looked around the chamber before his gaze finally settled on Vela. Medic Kryn, he said, you have something that belongs to us. Vela stepped forward. This ship is neutral medical ground. You violated treaty law by firing upon us. Thurin ignored the accusation. His gaze slid to Aaron like a knife. That human, he said. Turn him over to us immediately. Aaron's stomach twisted. Vela's expression did not move an inch. No. A whisper spread among nearby Vesari staff. Refusal of a senior commander was not normal, not tolerated. Thurin's eyes burned with cold fury. You are bound by Vesari military law, Kryn. You will obey. I am bound by the oath of reclamation, Vela said. His life is my responsibility. His safety is under my protection. The oath does not override direct orders, Thurin snapped. It does, Vela said calmly. When the life I saved is targeted by the one giving the order. A tense silence filled the chamber. Thurin's voice sharpened. You have no idea what that human carries inside him. He is a threat to both our species. Aaron felt every eye turn toward him. I'm a comms tech, he said weakly. I carry snacks in my pockets, not classified mysteries. But Thurin was not listening to him. He focused entirely on Vela. You have made a grave mistake, he said. The Vesari ascendancy will not protect you from the consequences. The hologram dissolved. Aaron exhaled shakily. Okay, so, that guy clearly wants me dead. He wants you controlled, Vela corrected. Death is merely the simpler method. Again, not comforting. Vela motioned for him to follow as she moved deeper into the chamber. Security teams are coming. We must relocate before they arrive. Relocate to where? A place where they cannot track us. That place exists on this ship. For a short time, Vela said, but not long. They reached a sealed door. Vela placed her palm against the surface. The wall responded by peeling open like a metallic flower. Inside was a narrow maintenance passage dimly lit by pale blue veins of energy. This is off-grid, she said. No monitoring. No command access. Aaron stepped inside. This feels suspiciously like a hiding place. That is because it is. Great, Aaron muttered. We're fugitives now. You were always a fugitive, Vela reminded him. You simply did not know. He stared at her. Are you going to explain that cryptic sentence? Vela finally turned to face him fully. Her eyes glowed brighter than before. When your neural implants sync to our medical systems, she said slowly, it revealed traces of something buried in your mind. Something artificial, something designed. Aaron's pulse quickened. Designed how? I do not know, Vela admitted. But someone else does, someone who... The infirmary was quiet for the first time in hours. Not peaceful. Nothing about the damaged medical frigate felt peaceful, but quiet enough that Aaron could finally hear his own breathing. The walls hummed with a steady recovery pulse, the ship's version of meditative focus. Lights ran along the ceiling in gentle waves meant to calm patients recovering from trauma. Aaron was not calm. Vela stood at the far end of the room, staring at a projection suspended in midair. A series of neural patterns pulsed across it, two distinct shapes that slowly overlapped, forming a third pattern that seemed to swirl and shift like liquid metal. Is that me? Aaron asked. Vela didn't turn. Partly, the other pattern is mine. He felt his stomach tighten. That's our scans from when you stabilized me. Yes, she said, but something in your neural imprint changed. She motioned him closer. When I first scanned you on the Callisto Dawn, your brain showed normal human structure with mild trauma markers, all expected. She tapped the display, but now look. Aaron stepped closer, and the central pattern expanded. The lines glowed with a strange blue-gold shimmer, forming structures that didn't match either human or Vesari neural signatures. That doesn't look like a merge of our scans. It is not, Vela said. It is something separate, something that appeared for the first time during your near-death event. He tried to laugh, but the sound came out broken. So you're saying something new got added to my brain while I was clinically dead. Yes, and now it is active. Active how? Vela stared at him for a long moment before answering. You tell me. The lights overhead flickered, just once, barely noticeable, but Vela reacted instantly, turning sharply toward the power conduit on the wall. Aaron hadn't even seen anything. You noticed that? He asked. You did not, she countered. Your sensory field is expanding. You simply have not learned to interpret the signals. Wait, are you saying I have alien senses now? No, Vela said. I am saying you have something, and I do not know what it is. The thought should have terrified him. It did. But layered beneath the fear was a strange, persistent pull, a sense of recognition he couldn't explain. Vela, he said quietly, what if whatever this is didn't come from you? What if it was already inside me, and the healing just woke it up? Vela went still, her expression unreadable. That possibility, she said slowly, has crossed my mind. Before either of them could speak again, the intercom crackled. All medical personnel, prepare for high-priority transfer. Incoming small craft. Mixed species signatures, repeat mixed species. Vela's head snapped toward the door. They are bringing survivors. From which side? Aaron asked. Both. The lights shifted to amber medical triage mode. Outside, distant footsteps echoed down the corridor. Vela turned to him, her voice firm and commanding. You will assist me. Aaron blinked. I'm not a medic. You are alive because of this ship, she said. And you have more battlefield training than half the staff here. You will help unless you cannot stand. He stood immediately. I'm good. Good, she said. Stay close. The doors hissed open. A Vesari soldier staggered in first, carrying a human marine over one shoulder. His armor was scorched and his breathing was ragged. Two more medics followed, pushing a floating platform containing an unconscious Vesari officer whose skin pulsed erratically, unstable biorhythm. Vela moved first. Place them on separate beds, she instructed. Begin stabilization fields. Administer code blue harmonics for the Vesari officer. Aaron rushed to the human patient, a young Marine barely out of academy age. Her armor was cracked and dried blood caked her shoulder. Her eyes fluttered open. Are we safe? Safer than before, Aaron said. You're on a medical frigate. She tried to sit up, panic flashing across her eyes. Vesari ship, no. Hey, Aaron said gently, placing a hand on her arm. You're okay. They saved you. The Marine stared at him, confused. They. Vela approached, her movements smooth and practiced. She lifted a diagnostic node, and it hummed softly as she scanned the Marine's injuries. Your shoulder is dislocated, Vela said. I will repair it. The Marine froze. You're one of them. Yes, Vela said simply. Aaron watched carefully. This moment mattered. The Marine swallowed. Are you going to hurt me? Vela looked genuinely puzzled. No, I'm going to fix your shoulder. She placed a hand on the Marine's arm and adjusted her stance. Lieutenant Hale, she said, hold her steady. He nodded and positioned himself by the Marine's side. On 3, Vela said. 1. She moved before 2. There was a soft, clean pop. The Marine gasped, then exhaled sharply. That's actually better, she whispered. Aaron grinned. Told you, best medic in 2 star systems. Vela ignored him. The door opened again. A new stretcher arrived, this one carrying a human officer in dark blue armor. The kind used by command ranks. Vela's posture changed instantly. What's wrong? Aaron asked. Vela stepped closer to the stretcher and froze. Aaron, she said slowly, this man was on your crew manifest. Aaron's blood ran cold. Who? He asked. The Vesari stretcher-bearer lowered the patient slightly, revealing the officer's face. Aaron staggered backward. It was Commander Draylen Vaughn, his direct superior, the man who sent him on the doomed mission. Vela, Aaron said, voice tightening. He's not supposed to be alive. He is, Vela said, and unconscious. The silence inside the Vesari command chamber felt heavier than any explosion Aaron had witnessed in space. The walls pulsed with a slow amber glow, reacting to the tension in the room. Vela stood at his side, shoulders squared, her uniform lines dimmed to a controlled, steady gold. Her presence was the only steady thing he could anchor to. Across from them, three high-ranking Vesari officials faced a transparent, floating display of Aaron's neural patterns. The data pulsed in soft waves, fractal and strangely beautiful, even to someone who had no clue what it meant. One of the officials, an older Vesari with silver hair braided in ceremonial style, finally spoke. "Your neural signature is impossible." Aaron tried to offer a calm nod. "Trust me, it's been that kind of week." Another Vesari scientist leaned forward. "These patterns match ancient records, the genetic markers of the precursor lineage, a species believed extinct for nearly 8,000 cycles." Aaron blinked. "I'm sorry, what lineage?" Vela remained perfectly still, but he felt the subtle shift in her breathing. She had known something like this was coming, but not how severe it would be. The official continued. "The precursors were not warriors, they were not conquerors, they were architects. They shaped bioharmonic technology. They designed the first Vesari ships. They built the foundations of our civilization, and then they vanished." The scientist looked at Aaron like he was a message from a ghost. "Your brain patterns are identical to theirs." Aaron rubbed the back of his neck. "That's cool, I guess, but I'm human." "You are human," Vela said, "and yet something of them exists in you." The older Vesari stepped closer. "This explains the attacks. Someone wants to control or destroy whatever remnants of the precursors appear in the galaxy. You, Lieutenant Hale, are not just a military target. You are a political and historical one." Aaron tried to take a slow breath. "So what does that make me? A threat, a symbol, a science project?" Vela stepped forward, her voice strong. "He is a person, a living being under my protection." The room shifted. The Vesari officials exchanged glances. The amber lights deepened, reacting to the rising tension. "You invoked the oath," the elder said, "which means his survival is bonded to yours and yours to his." Another official added, "But it also means he carries diplomatic weight. If humans discover what he is before we do, this could start a new war." Aaron exhaled slowly. "Great, so I'm a walking intergalactic crisis." Vela turned to him, her expression calm but intense. "No. You are someone with answers we must uncover, and you are not alone." The elder Vesari cleared his throat. "For now, both of you will be moved to a safer location. The attackers who targeted you, both human and Vesari, are still active. We must assume they will strike again." Aaron frowned. "What location?" The chamber lights dimmed slightly, as if the ship itself didn't approve of what came next. "The Luminous Archive," the scientist said, "a precursor facility. The last one known to exist. It has not been opened in 7,000 cycles, but it may react to you." Aaron's stomach dropped. "React in what way?" "We do not know," the elder admitted. "It may awaken, it may reject you. It may reveal truths neither species is prepared to face." The ship suddenly shuddered. A distant alarm echoed through the corridors, followed by a sharp vibration that made the display flicker. Vela snapped her head toward the door. That was not internal movement, that was an external strike. A Vesari officer rushed into the chamber. "High Command, the attackers have returned. Multiple vessels approaching at high velocity. They are ignoring all communications." "Human or Vesari?" Vela asked sharply. "Neither," the officer said. "Unidentified signatures." Aaron felt a chill crawl up his spine. "Unidentified like new." "Unidentified like extinct," the officer answered. The room froze. The elder Vesari whispered, "Impossible." The ship shook again, harder this time. Lights flickered. The floating displays dimmed. Vela grabbed Aaron's arm. "We need to move now." As they ran through the corridor, the distant flashes of space combat lit the hallway in harsh colors. Aaron heard weapons fire he didn't recognize, a sharp resonance that hummed through his bones. "Vela," he said breathlessly, "if these ships are who they think they are, then someone woke a remnant species that should not exist," she said, "and they are here for you." Another blast struck the medical frigate, nearly throwing them both off balance. Vela caught him, steadying him with a grip that felt like steel wrapped in warmth. They reached an escape platform, a small, sleek vessel designed for rapid evacuation. Vesari crew rushed to activate it. Aaron stepped inside, still reeling. "So we're going to this archive thing, while being chased by maybe not extinct aliens who want to erase me." Vela entered after him, her voice calm despite everything. "Yes." Aaron took a slow breath. Okay, just checking. The vessel sealed shut. Engines roared. As they launched away from the wounded medical frigate, Aaron looked out the viewport. Unfamiliar ships, dark, smooth, sinuous, moved through the void with a terrifying grace. Vela stood beside him. Whatever happens next, she said, understand this, you are